Hello, everybody, and welcome to another big session of talking about Elden Ring from MinMax. MinMax is a place about games, friends, and getting better. I'm Ben Hansen, joined by some old From Software buddies.
Hi.
Star of Hitman 3, Grant.
Hi. How you doing?
Old, very well. Grant, thank you so much for asking.
No problem.
This guy's not going to ask.
No.
Hey, best friend Ronnie's here.
Hey!
Hey, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. This is more of Unpacking Elden Ring. We had a discussion a while ago.
How are you?
Hey, man. He's learning. He's a learning computer.
He just gotta
Hey, pretty gosh darn dandy.
processing.
Yep, I'm a person waving is watching us live on Twitch, and he says, I heard we're replaying Dirge of Cerberus.
We are.
Let's boot it up.
We're gonna
Turn that
do
TV on. Let's go. Round 2, baby. Grant didn't get to finish it last time.
I was wondering why you locked the door behind us. It checks out now.
Put the Dirge padlock on it. Taco Goon says he thought the dude on the left was Joe Rogan. How dare
Yep, that's...
This guy would crush Joe Rogan.
Yeah, he would.
How dare you?
Have you guys heard of On It? Pretty good supplements, I hear.
I like that you have Joe Rogan doing a podcast plug, but he's just panicking throughout all of it. Vitamins. Here we go, everybody. We are talking about, hey, Bengal Party, thanks for the big sub on Twitch. We're talking about Elden Ring. Last time we had one of these discussions, it was embarrassing because Grant was watching the credits roll, and then he got on to talk about it with us, and we're like, I've smelled Margit. That was like the closest we got.
And he smells bad.
Yeah, but now we are covering everything in Elden Ring, absolutely everything, except for the mountain of stuff that we completely missed because we're not very thorough and not very smart. Just full disclaimer.
And also not even close to everything.
No, just to be very clear. But we're covering everything in the game from, I guess, Margit, because generally that's where we stopped last discussion, right?
Yeah,
we hadn't even fought Godric, I don't think. Up until it turns out Ronnie and I are at about the same spot, which is just after the capital. There's kind of like what feels like, and I'm sure I'm wrong, but it feels kind of like a little choke point on the map of like you have to go to the capital to get to this new area, and so that's really where we stopped.
You have probably like on your map, you have like a red banner that's saying you gotta go here.
Yeah, well, I have the red banner because of the volcano house or whatever.
Interesting. So have you...
I mean, we don't need to get into all that.
Well,
we have so much to talk about.
No. Well, okay. Well, I think there's a really big part that I guess I don't know if you've done. Have you fought the boss that...
I mean, I'm in the area past the capital. Just starting
the
to...
snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Look, Elden Ring fans are worried about spoilers. Everybody who's worried about snow spoilers, they've probably made it this far. But yeah, I'm in the snow and those little monsters with the two thighs running out and they're SOBs. So I've inched forward. I've unlocked the first map area there, but we're not even going to be talking about all that because we're kind of covering everything beyond that. How you doing with that thing, Ronnie? With that there Elden Ring? You're taking your time. Grant has finished it. Mm-hmm. I feel like we're playing it the way probably a majority of people online are.
See, I always that could be a good point because like my frame of reference is like the text message conversation that I was in with Grant and then two other friends who have finished the game.
Wow.
About probably about 3 weeks ago.
I think I finished on like March 9th, I want to say.
March 9th? Okay.
Somewhere in there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and like I'm around the snow area right now. So it feels like everybody else has like completed the game and like we're the last two people on Earth that maybe actually haven't.
But I think that's just the vocal people. I bet a lot of people watching this are like, I'm also taking my time with the game. Like I love the game. I mean, I'm 67 hours into it. I'm
like 90.
Are you really?
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
Oh, do you guys know what level you're at?
I'm at 99.
Okay.
115.
All right, well, he's trying too hard, so
he
needs to kind of scale it back a little bit. But hey, we should call out something first and foremost, just to be really, really clear about this. This video on YouTube, thank you for watching it. We appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing to our channel. We appreciate all that stuff. If you want the podcast version of this discussion, and if you want to help support discussions like this, you can go to patreon.com/minmax with 2 N's. You go there, you support us at the $5 tier, you unlock the podcast version of this discussion, early access to the MinMax show, our Patreon exclusive podcast Party Chat. Also, maybe most importantly, we are taking the deepest dive into Chrono Cross, everybody.
Woo!
Chrono's back! We're doing it!
That's so exciting.
And I asked Ronnie to be on it, and he said, nah, too busy.
No, I can't do that.
I mean, it's really crazy to think about that. Like, yeah, we played Chrono Cross together, and that was 22 years ago.
Was it really 22
Isn't that
years
crazy
ago?
to think about? Like, last time we really had a good conversation about Chrono Cross was 22 years ago.
I do remember having a lot of conversations about it.
It felt like we talked about the game. It felt like half my life at that point was just talking about Chrono Cross with like Alex and whatnot.
Yeah. Like I remember you guys making fun of me all the time because I was struggling with the Green Dragon.
This guy struggles with the Green Dragon, everybody.
Yeah.
And not the way he would later in his life, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the point is, everybody, you can unlock the podcast version of The Deepest Dive, which is our huge game club discussion for Chrono Trigger, and you can help submit comments along the way, and we'll read them on the show because we're creating the best, most thorough discussion about Chrono Trigger on the internet if you support us over on Patreon. So we appreciate it, and get ready for a bunch of fun discussions about Chrono Cross. Chrono Boy is mirroring a sentiment that I've seen with a lot of people here in the chat because we're streaming this on Twitch, by the way. Also, I'm sorry, YouTube people. There's a lot of things to explain. We stream this on Twitch. You can follow us on Twitch. We'd appreciate it. Chrono Boy here said, I will finally beat Chrono Cross after starting it up 5 times. I've seen so many people have that sentiment of like, I really want to finish Chrono Cross. I've started it so many times. So with the Deepest Dive, hopefully I will. Grant, have you ever finished Chrono Cross?
Neither Trigger nor Cross.
Really?
Wow. Okay.
Do you think you're going to play Cross?
I don't know. What's it on?
It's going to be on everything.
Oh, that's right. It's coming out on everything, I guess.
Switch. Yeah, all that fun stuff. I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know if it's your type of game because you're a very systems-focused RPG guy. Yeah. And I think the charm of Chrono Cross is like the music and characters. Systems-wise, I think it's solid and interesting. But
it's a little sloppy, it feels like. But
yeah. So I don't know if it's exactly your cup of tea. Unlike Elden Ring, which is all systems, all fun, no art, no work, all play.
Yeah.
Was there music in the game?
No, there isn't.
I don't think there is that I can recall.
Actually, there's no sound effects. It's all in your brain.
Grant, without spoiling anything, because you're the only person here that's finished it, what was your Grant conclusion after finishing Elden Ring?
Elden Ring is a very good game.
Yes. Are you still putting it in the wheelhouse you were last time for overall tier of From?
Where'd I put it last time?
Well,
I don't think we actually had the.
I think we did because I remember you saying Sekiro was near the top, if not the top, and I think you were putting it below that in Bloodborne.
Yeah, that still checks out. Bloodborne and Sekiro are still 1A and 1B for me.
Right. How's it moving on your big list, Ren?
Same place. It's probably just recently like inch above Dark Souls 3, and the only thing beyond it is Sekiro and Bloodborne. Yeah.
Okay, so again, spoilers for, let's see, all these areas. We're talking Caelid. We're talking
Caelid.
The Hogwarts Castle. We're talking the Plateau. We're talking that Mordor piece of work in the Northwest.
Lernia.
The capital, all that fun stuff. So heads up, everybody. We'll probably learn some things that...
Mount Helmage.
That's right. I apologize for us being sloppy.
Volcano Manor. Right? Yeah?
Yeah, Volcano Manor.
All right.
Give me, give me something. Give me your favorite thing that you've done in Elden Ring since the last time we talked.
Ooh. I don't know about like the favorite thing, but the thing that just came up in my brain was when you see Margit again outside of the capital.
It's really cool. It's like a sorcerer, right? That like turns into Margit.
Yeah. Well, he infests a body that is just like around your area, and then you have to fight him.
I saw that and I was like, "There's no health bar even on this guy, or there's no like it's not named
they don't give him right,
so it's just like at that point,
bar,
I didn't beat him again. I thought I was just gonna destroy him, but I was like out of the fight and I was like, I don't need to do this. I'll just run away. I don't want to go up against Margit again, even though I really didn't have a tough time with it originally. But it must be stronger than it was originally, I would think.
He was scaled up a little bit.
Yeah, he must have been.
I'm really wondering if that is possible to miss, like. Or is it a guaranteed sequence to happen? Because there's multiple ways to get into the capital.
If you don't go, because it's like a little bit north, I think, of the capital gates is when you actually run into him. Mm-hmm. And if you come from the south, but I don't know, you can't really come from the south because that's where the elevator is, and you don't have the other side of the medallion at that point. So you have to come through the north, I would imagine.
Well, there was a gate on the north, like up by Windmill Village.
Right.
And there was another one in the south that had 2 tree sentinels guarding it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's beyond that, kind of like just in their side of the wall.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
At least that's where it was for me, I guess. It could be
the fun of this game.
Yeah. That capital. Like honestly,
God, yeah.
This game.
I feel like I didn't spend a lot of time. Sorry.
No, I hear you. Yep.
I feel like I didn't spend like a lot of time actually in the capital. Like it looks like it's just this like central piece of the entire map. And obviously like I haven't gotten the whole map, but it just looks like it's huge and it's amazing. But I think like in terms of like Limgrave, I feel like I've spent like 50% of my entire play hours in Limgrave. And then the other 50% is everywhere else. So.
Yeah, I hear you. I think I had a weird experience with the capital where I explored it a fair amount, even before doing like Caelid and stuff. I explored the capital, and then I streamed it, and people were like, no, you should be doing Caelid right now. I was like, well, that's the beauty of the game. It's like, and everyone in the community is very sweet. No one's saying you should for sure be doing this, but like just the impact of seeing that capital for the first time, like coming up over the hill, and just like the scope of it and how amazing it's obviously the bird tree, all that. Like, it's just, you know, in game design, I think other works of design and all that stuff, and I'm sort of looking for fields of design. They have that idea of like talking about the Disneyland castle, of like you always need to have something on the horizon to like draw your eye to, and like Breath of the Wild is very good at that.
Sure,
and like it's such an easy shortcut in Elden Ring just to have like, there's just the most beautiful trees you've ever seen in your life everywhere, and that's like the ultimate Disneyland castle for just like locking your eyes somewhere,
like, and knowing that like
Anyways, the point is seeing that capital for the first time. It's just this moment of like, oh my god, the scaled dragon. Like, I don't think any other game has ever made me think, wow, this castle is cool, or like this building is cool in the way that this game does. Like every time you get a good view of a castle or the capital, like it's jaw dropping.
Yeah.
And I can't believe that.
And there's a lot of
real.
them too.
Yeah, I get to explore everything here.
Yeah.
But then the thing that I loved about the capital so much, and maybe it was just like the way that I was going to it, and it's debatable how many ways you can get into it and all that stuff, but exploring it for the first time, it's like, it just felt so eerie, where the music was really subdued, if there even was any, and it really wasn't a challenge. It was just like mostly empty. Then you start coming across the snowmen with the horns. And it's like, okay, these guys are chumps. What else is there? And like you're going through so much of that space before it really starts ratcheting up. I feel like it's not until you're kind of on the street level. That's like, blah! And then they just come out to kill you left and right.
The Erd tree or is it Halleck tree or Erd tree bosses that like just comes dropping down in Main Street there.
Yeah.
With all the golden knights there too. Like,
yep, and there's the one that kind of like bursts out of the ground as well, which I don't think I even beat him. I was just like, okay, I don't know what this is. I don't think he even has a name.
It was such a weird introduction though, with those little bubble blowing, horn blowing dudes. Like, wait, this is the threat here. Okay.
I think this last time on their little recorders. Meep, 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 meep.
I guess that B flat was intimidating. I don't know.
But I think last time we talked,
like, don't move.
I feel like last time we talked, at some point, Grant, you mentioned that, because I was talking about like, oh, this was my tone. I think it was like, oh, I don't know, if you have the horse, I don't think any boss can be hard. And you're like, I'm beating my head against a boss that is on a horse. Which one is that? There was like was it the one kind of guarding the entrance to the capital? Because that was another one of those sentinel fights where
that asshole. Yeah.
Was that the one you think you were talking about?
I had a hard time with him.
Okay.
What did he look like? I can't remember.
He was draconic tree sentinel, where he had red lightning and demon fury and spits flames at you, and gets himself stuck in a spot where he will do nothing but shoot flames at you. That's really cool.
The thing
that's fun.
The thing that I remember is, when I was going around there, like I think I was a little bit under leveled. In fact, I asked Grant, it's just like, I'm having a really hard time ever since I got to like around the capital. There was that gargoyle that just like, as you're going down the stairs, it just comes in and just like screech screams at you and like just like pile drives you. Do you remember?
Did you guys do this? No, I don't remember this.
Oh, okay. Well, like,
I'm sure it happened, but I feel like the entire game is just getting piled drive by something.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. And like really getting to a point where it's just like, I feel like I'm not doing enough damage here.
Yeah.
And that's how it kind of felt like once I got to Altus Plateau, and like it was just those first couple of monsters that were just like this
boxcar gang boys.
Yeah, the boxcar gang boys.
Oh, the guys that were like straight from the village.
Yeah,
the Shyamalan movie,
right, like the big boys, and and they're very quick, and they did a lot of damage. And I thought to myself, like, it's just like, okay, well, this is a clear difficulty spike, and Kind of. And then, yeah, it just kind of kept on going. And then that was the point where I was just like, okay, something needs to give here. And then I went to Caelid and leveled up there.
I love just the progression of the map, if that is indeed the correct way to go, which I understand it's all fluid and you do whatever you want, but I love the idea of just like the map is clearly pushing in this direction, and then just the overall sense of game design is you're going to start to slow down here if you're working through the capital, and then the rebound is not to go back where you were, but to go all the way back down to that hellish red place
which I absolutely love, because I love like when you have that, you know, it's Limgrave is just the low level area, and then you have a freaking high level area that you can just like randomly run into. Yeah, going back to that and actually seeing like, okay, now I can actually do this.
Yeah, come here, hyena dogs, please. I beg of you.
Was your guys' first trip to Caelid getting transported by that the fake treasure chest that shoots you in the tunnel?
And then that's the one that's right next to like the big guy guarding the door. Because that's the first place I teleported into Caelid was the big boss guy, who I still haven't beat.
That you give the death root to, the vendor in there, right?
Oh yeah, I'm like that guy's buddy now.
It's like the Black Blade Kindred.
Yeah, and you give him death root.
Death root,
he sniffs in and he says he wants more.
Wait, that's the small guy in the castle? You're not talking about the big boss on the steps?
Yeah, the guy in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did you kill him?
Anubis looking dude.
I've killed every NPC I see. No, honestly, I feel like that's the weakest part of the game for me, is just in my comprehension, is like the NPC stuff, following quests. And like, I guess I've talked to people. I don't register anything they say at any point, and so I probably gave somebody something at some point.
It probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just like have some sort of like a little bit of a quest log for, you know, there's like a whole bunch of quests that it's just like, well, it's incredibly difficult to actually know like how to do this without looking up a guide. And so I haven't looked up anything, and now what I notice is that like, well, nobody's at my round table anymore. Like my whole
Wait, really?
Like nobody. There's no it's like an abandoned place.
Not even the freaky merchant lady? Or the lady by the two fingers?
She has
she's there.
Okay.
The smith is there, but he doesn't like me. And
really?
Well,
I'll take your stones, but I'm not happy about it.
What'd you do? He's a bro.
Yeah.
No, we're cool. Right. And then it was the lady that upgrades the spirits.
Yes.
Right.
And that's about that's about it.
What do you expect in it?
I mean,
there's a round table, and in the beginning there was like, I don't know, there was like 4, and then just progressively just like, I think I'm gonna leave.
Yeah. They have their own quest to do.
Right. But the thing is like, I think that's the whole thing, is like they're saying like, hey, I'm gonna do this thing, I'm gonna do this quest, and I would imagine that there's somewhere on the map somewhere. Yeah, but
well, I know for sure a couple can be found, but
so there was a weapon that I got, and I looked to see if I could get another one of those weapons. And so I looked up, and it's just like, this is what reminds me of just like the From Software, like how they do quests. It's just like, yeah, so you can do this if you talk to this guy at this specific time between this boss and this boss. But if you didn't do that, he literally just disappears.
Delete your save.
Like you can't do anything, and I hate that. So
it helps a lot to have streamed this game. Like I've streamed it 3 or 4 times or something like that, and just like checking in periodically and basically just booting up my save and then saying, have at me. It's like, I feel like the equivalent of like going to a doctor's office for a check-in, just walking into the office nude and just saying, what's wrong with me, everybody? And they go on for hours. And so that's what everybody, when I'm streaming, does. Is just like, oh, you're doing this. Oh, you should be doing this. And the big thing, I think it was the last time I streamed, is they're like, oh, you haven't done this entire part with Blade the Wolfman.
Sure, for like Ronnie's.
Have you done all this, Ron?
No. I mean, like, I saw him. So I did that, and then he said,
you did that like in the woods?
I did the very beginning, and then Blade said, he's like,
so hang on, so you did like the emote in the woods to get his attention, all that stuff? Like you whistled for him in the woods?
No. See, like what I went to like Ronnie's tower, met him, and he said like, well, I'm going to be down below at this place.
Right.
And then, so I went down there and did not see him anywhere. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll do this later. And then
did you
him
like finish that area though and fight like the decaying deer god and all that stuff?
No.
Oh.
Whoops. I keep on. Yeah. And then I went.
I mean, the decaying deer god is basically the entire game for me at this point.
gives you 7,000 souls. So
90 hours, you say?
That's right.
All right.
So, and then at like Radahn's fort,
the great ceremony.
then Blaze there's like, hey, I missed you down below.
I was looking for you, dude.
Kind of left me hanging down there.
And that was like,
not cool.
I mean, we're not enemies, but we're just
confused about what you're doing in this world exactly.
So yeah.
So I went down there and then I like lit all of the lights on the stairwell.
That's what I thought. I looked around,
and then the deer god's like, "Come to me." And then
so I guess I
that
haven't.
thing. Okay, but then the weird part is everybody was saying like, "Oh, follow the quest." Like this is the core story of the game is to follow this quest from Blade the Wolf in this area, and so then
interesting.
That's the way people were telling me while I was streaming it. And so then I did that and I fought the deer god. Then I was like, I don't really know what else to do here. I'm kind of confused. And then I didn't see him again until Radahn's birthday party.
Yeah,
I liked his birthday party.
Yeah. I met that guy in the tower for the first time too, the Blade guy.
Yeah.
And I also did not see him again until Radahn's festivities.
Right. Okay. And there's a part of me that wonders, like, if I, like, does that mean that the quest, because again, I wouldn't put it past From to be like, now you just completely messed that up. So
absolutely.
Yeah. So like, I'm guessing I can't go back now and he'd be like, yeah, I'm here.
I don't know. Did you fight Radahn before the patch? I think you did, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I don't know.
Because I think just talking to you and other folks, it seemed like he was a real SOB, and he was a complete cakewalk. And like, I'm not good at this game at all. Like I especially in that capital period, I was really happy with my weapon. I feel like it was just annihilating. It's the golden halberd at this point. The big halberd.
Halberd.
Yep.
Golden loaf.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the beautiful golden loaf.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Radahn, it was like, oh, this is.
Radahn.
I think maybe it was, sorry, Radahn. Sorry, it's Radahn.
Radahn.
But I think it was maybe two tries.
Wow.
It just wasn't that bad at all, and a lot of it was like the buddies running up and whatnot.
God, you're cool.
But I'm just saying, I think no, but that was specifically after the patch, and I think that had a big impact because I don't think I know I'm bad at this game, and so the idea that he was that easy for me, I was like, okay, something funky's happening here.
Yeah, it was probably like, I mean, it wasn't an insane amount for me. Like, I bet it was 8 tries.
Yeah, I feel like all of the main fights, I haven't really beat my head against the wall for any of them. I don't think in terms of like the big.
What did you think of
chair
Moon
boys.
Lady?
That was interesting.
I love that.
Yeah, that was
fight.
maybe 3 tries for her. A lot of it was just like trying to figure out what am I doing? All these crawling women in this academy. What am I supposed to be doing?
That feels
here?
like a perfect kind of like From Software Dark Souls kind of fight. It's just this weird, like how to progress it is to do something else other than actually fight the boss.
Right. I was shocked by then, like, oh, okay. Once I die, I actually have to do this all again. But it turns out it's not that hard. It's like, there's like 3 people chanting or praying or whatever, and just annihilate them, and then it's just the weird ghost images. But like that environment was so cool with her. And I like that, like, you know, afterwards it's not that she goes, you've killed me this time.
She's like, my baby.
Yeah, but instead she's just then like hanging out the castle, like, you want a respec? Or like, suddenly she's just like my best bud. Very confused.
You want something to eat?
Did you like the praying people? I can give you a couple.
They're nice.
That wasn't that bad at all. Is there a boss, Grant, from this section that stood out to you as the most difficult?
I did Radahn pre-patch, but I was slightly over-leveled.
Yeah.
I didn't find him for a while because the little castle was so unassuming.
Totally was,
compared to like the grandiose nature of some of the other places. Like,
totally.
It's like, wait, this tiny little castle leads to this big boss fight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I didn't. Yeah, it was completely by accident that I kind of found that. So yeah.
Other than that, I think I was at like the appropriate level for the Volcano Manor area. So I think I died a couple times to that Godskin big boy.
I think that's the hardest fight.
Godskin Peeler?
Godskin Noble is his name.
Is that it?
Yeah, the big skin monster.
Yeah.
And he's in that like church and there's like pews and stuff. I think that's the hardest fight in the game for me up until this point. I had the toughest time with him.
Big boy, but very, very agile, right?
Yeah, Yeah, he was agile enough.
He was incredibly
moves,
agile.
yeah.
Like, didn't he like roll and he's
inflates himself too.
Right.
I love that fight. I love that fight.
Weird pieces of skin all stitched together.
It's cool.
And whatnot. Here's something I think I'm doing wrong with this game is, ever since Demon Souls, people have been like, oh, it's all about just learning the boss, learning their attacks.
Sure.
I'm not beating my head against the wall too much at this point, but I feel like I'm never really learning the boss's moves.
Totally.
If you quizzed me after a boss fight, I'd be like, I don't know, I guess he seemed to not be doing as much, so I went in and attacked. And that's about my strategy. Am I blowing it? Should I be focusing more on like this move, then I counter when he does this? I don't really pay attention to any of that stuff.
To me, it feels like it's, you're going to follow the path of least resistance, like whatever works. And if that's working, then so be it. What I've noticed, and maybe it is because I'm just like perpetually overleveled and this game allows me to do that. And maybe that's the difference. But what I've noticed is that like these bosses, they do a lot of damage, but I also do a lot of damage to them. So the fight, it's not typically as long as what I would think of, like when I think of like Dark Souls 3 or Sekiro, particularly, like those fights feel like they're sometimes twice as long.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so. So then there's a little bit more, I think, of an opportunity to like really get to know a boss and like them have like a kind of a big impression on you.
I think the nature of this game being open world and being freeform,
right,
makes it so you can have an experience that is like what you're having. Like Sekiro in particular felt like there's a couple of boss fights where it feels like a choreographed dance almost, and it's like
Okay, you have to learn it.
If he's jumping and swiping from this side, I have to dodge this way, leave me room for one attack. Like if he rears up this way, it's like, okay, I can only dodge. And I didn't really have that outside of one boss in particular I can think of in this game that I was really like focusing on moveset stuff.
Was it an optional one?
It is optional, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if they give me like, and that's what I want. Like if they give me one cost level fight in this game, just like one, like that's enough. I'm totally fine with that.
Sure.
Yeah. Or Sword Saint kind of.
Kos?
Orphan of Kos for Bloodborne was just notoriously difficult. Just one that like it's gonna take me more than one like sit down to do, and like I know their moves. By the end of fighting them, like I know every moveset that they have.
Do you think this game's been too easy for you so far?
Well,
do you want to look in that camera and say the word baby game?
Baby game.
Say it 3 times, see what happens.
Baby game, baby game, baby game.
No! You're on the internet, you fool!
No, well, one thing that I did just recently do is like I was using Radan's 2 big, Radan. I was using Radan's 2 big swords. And I just started noticing that after I found the Mimic tier.
What? Whoa. Okay, hang on. Sorry, go on, but I want to follow up on that.
Yeah. That everything became like everything was just like, like it's in the moderate difficulty territory. And now like everything ever since the Mimic tier, everything was getting like a little bit more to the point where I was just like, I feel like I'm missing kind of a part of the game by doing so much damage and just kind of steamrolling what's ahead of. And I'm not saying that that's going to be like how it stays. But what I did is right now is I actually just changed weapons. Now I'm using I'm using double whips just as a way to like, I guess, create some other like difficulty to kind of get back so I can see more and appreciate more like the bosses and the the monster design.
I did the same thing. I switched to just throwing rocks. That's kind of like my main weapon. Because it's like I just want to like feel something.
That's actually kind of OP too. So
the rainbow stones. I noticed that. So sometimes I just like look at them.
Yeah. And that hurts them.
Wait, double whips, really? That's cool.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Okay, I know. I guess this is just everybody's first time with one of these games. Is constantly just this feeling of, am I blowing it? Am I blowing it? And every time I stream says, no, like that's the point. You do whatever you want.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I'm not really experimenting with weapons that much. I'm just like, all right, I finally was able to work up to the level of getting that golden halberd. I feel like I'm annihilating with that thing. Now it's starting to feel like, okay, could be a little more powerful. I'm starting to struggle a little bit more.
What's it at right now?
What? I don't know. I honestly...
Did you platinum it yet? Or
I wish I should have written that down. I don't know. Is it plus 15 nuts?
Yeah, it goes up to I think right now my whippy whips are like plus 20
is
or
that
plus
right?
19.
Okay.
So they get up really high.
It's like smithing stone does not equal the level, right? It can be like plus 15 if it's smithing stone 7 or something.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that works.
Okay.
Smithing stone will go higher than the intended number, but somber is a 1-to-1.
Right.
Oh, okay. So somber is the one that I'm using for the golden.
Oh, you are.
So then,
okay.
Then there's a cap on that one.
Okay.
Plus 10, I would imagine. Because
10 is the cap on somber.
Okay. So this is so I'm not switching around too much, but here's something that I'm hung up on is I have a tough time figuring out because like I like that weapon. I like having a little bit of that range. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
It's weird not having like a secondary ability like a Ashes of War. Like I guess it baked into the golden. It's just and I like boost my stats a little bit, which is fine, but not the most exciting. I'd rather have another move.
Oh, sure. Can you? Is this a somber stone?
If it is somber, you can't add anything to it.
You can't. Yeah. But the thing that I'm struggling with is I have other halberds. But I'm not sure, like base stats, it's confusing of like, okay, so if I spend all of the stones to level this one up, is it going to be better than my golden?
Right.
I don't know how to measure I wish I could see all their stats at baseline and just know that like, if I invested in this, would it be better than my golden? I don't know.
Yeah. I think certain ones, I don't know if it's like every halberd scales the same, like, as you go up in levels with the smithing stones, it'll change the scaling. Like if it scales with strength initially at a D, sometimes it'll go up to a B, but some might stop at a C. And you don't know.
Oh,
no. There's no way of knowing.
Other than just like, you can look up the weapon and see what its final stats are if you're...
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's not a huge...
No, I wouldn't call that spoiler territory. It's just more so just like looking at the numbers to see if it would be kind of worth it.
Is there kind of an implication that if something takes the somber stones that they are kind of a cut above, that it is a little bit like that legendary weapon vibe?
Exactly. That's kind of what I think, and probably is. Like I've noticed also, like I was using Radahn's like double weapons, and that move set is it's really good, but also the Ash of War that it uses is just it's incredibly good. Like it's just like this, it's gravitas, like an area of effect that you can do twice. Like it just pulls every enemy towards you, and then you do it again, and then it just explodes. And everybody dies.
On the map?
Everyone.
Jar Man?
Yeah. Except Jar Man. Did you find Jar Town?
What?
Did you find the Jar Town?
No. I feel like in our first discussion or early on, Grant, you insinuated that you had met Mr. Big Pot Boy and you murdered him. Yeah. From what I recall, you snuck up behind him and stabbed him in the back.
No, you really didn't like him.
He was sleeping.
That's so brutal.
He used a poison dagger.
Oh, you fool.
It was an accident.
I know. I feel like I found him much later on than... Because I feel like other people were like finding him in Limgrave, and I found him after that, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we're fine now. I think I found him like in a jail cell. It's kind of a jail cell area. He was right next to a bonfire area.
Was he...
Sorry, Holy Site of Grace.
Was he at Radahn's festival?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. He was living it up. Oh, great. Oh, I'm sorry you didn't get to see him at that festival.
Why did you kill me?
He was there in spirit. His Kool-Aid juice was still on my sword.
Doesn't wash off.
Yeah, where's that? Everyone in chat saying, where is Jarburg?
Is it Jarburg? Is that what it's called?
I think they're making a joke.
Yeah, Jarburg is in right next to Lernia. Like Lake Lernia.
Oh, really?
Lernia. Yeah, on the eastern side. A bunch of them
living together, frolicking around.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can talk to them.
God, okay, that sounds lovely.
I didn't know about this this mimic, because I knew that it was OP, and then they nerfed it, and everyone was upset or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But I just assumed like, well, I probably can't get this yet, but it's shocking that I can get it. I thought I had 100% of this game up until this point. So where is this freaking thing?
Yeah, and I should say that like...
Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone in chat is telling me it's literally called Jarburg.
That's what I said.
That's not a joke.
See, that's why this game is going to get Game of the Year.
That's absurd.
Yeah, and I should say like I would not have found that. Grant gave me a hint to... like pay attention to after Radahn, like there's that star that goes just like whizzing across the map.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so it lands somewhere in, as Grant said, like lands somewhere in Limgrave.
How are you supposed to figure that out?
Yeah,
you just
shoots
watch
across the sky.
Yeah, you just
crashes in the ground.
You just watch where it goes.
Huh. Okay.
Traveling south.
It was the same thing for me. I completely forgot about it.
Yeah, honestly, I thought like, well, that's like some story thing, like Radahn's soul is free at the council or some nonsense like that.
Damn. his deal is that his power was holding up the stars in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the star specifically was the mimic?
No. So after he died and his power was no longer, that star came crashing down, and it leaves a scar upon the earth there.
Yes, it does.
Scar. Okay, so go back.
Yeah, if you go back and go back and do you know those little like telescope areas where you can like?
Yeah, I've never really used them, but
yeah. So use it and look for something odd.
In which area again?
Limgrave.
In Limgrave.
Yep. Look for something odd, and go there. Is
the telescope automatically on the map?
Yeah, there's a little icon that it shows. Yeah.
Okay.
Halfway between Stormvale Castle and Caelid, roughly.
Yep.
If I remember right.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right, I'll have to go check that out. Thanks for the sub, by the way, Scrappy.
Thank you.
Hey, Scrappy Dappy Hero Pup. We appreciate it. My favorite moment so far in this game, by a mile, is in Caelid. I cannot fucking believe this moment. I was so aghast.
Yeah.
But going around the corner, you're at a holy site of grace, and there is a dragon, and you fight the dragon. It's like, okay, it's fine.
Was it a white dragon?
No, just a normal looking dragon.
Okay.
Then you keep rolling, go up around the turn, and it's like, all right, now here's a field of dragons. Okay, we can start fighting them. All right, sure. I took out a couple of them or whatever.
Yeah.
But then coming across the white dragon, which is one of the biggest things I've ever seen in a game.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's just like breathing heavily up there, every once in a while, like trying to like roar to like encourage the other dragons, whatever is happening there. I was just stunned by like, what is this? And then going past it, getting to the castle, and then seeing that the dragon's still there. I mean, you did this as well, right, Ron?
I did, yeah. I always thought, I thought the other dragons were like kind of like feeding on him. Like it was just this really old, like decaying dragon, and he was screaming because it was just like, I'm dying.
Oh, I took it. Honestly, it's very Princess Mononoke. My warriors.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this thing of just like trying to rally is what I took it as. But then having that moment of like, I guess I should take a swing at this thing. And it's like, oh, okay. His health bar is moving, but barely at all. Did you do this, Ronnie?
So no, I did not actually hit the dragon, but what I did is I just actually started fighting all the dragons around him.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if it was when I killed all of the dragons that he just screamed and died.
Oh my God.
That's it. Like I didn't touch him once.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Whereas I really didn't kill many of the small dragons at all, and then snuck up and then just hacked at them. It was literally over 15 minutes of just yeah. And it was like
can one of the dragons like take care of those guys?
And then I got him to like 50% health, and then he did another one of those cycles of animations, just like my warriors looking around the field. I was like, oh, he's coming for me. And then he didn't. He was still just busy dying.
Yep.
So I just kept killing him, and then you get 75,000 runes for it. But also you feel terrible.
Well, I didn't touch him, so.
Did you get the runes for it?
Yeah. No, he died, and it's over 75,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so good. It's such a good moment of the game. Here's something weird. You're going to get a lot out of it, but you're going to feel really guilty at the same time. It's some very Shadow of the Colossus vibes about just, go ahead, kill the big thing. We dare you. See how you feel. See how you feel.
See what happens.
Yeah. And like it goes back to, there's those interviews with Miyazaki, or probably just one in particular, where he talked about the design of enemies in Dark Souls. I don't know if you remember this, about talking about like how every enemy and creature needs to have respect and be respectable. And that a lot of like newcomers at From Software, I'm probably butchering this as I paraphrase it, but a lot of newcomers and like artists would show them designs like, here's some effed up decaying dragon. It's like all undead and stuff. Isn't it cool, Miyazaki? What's up?
Yeah.
Check out my TikTok, Miyazaki, all that fun stuff.
No, totally.
And his big piece of feedback is like, no, I don't want just like spooky, weird looking decaying enemies.
Right.
Like every enemy in this game needs to be noble in its own way and have respect in its own monstrous way.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And like I love that idea. Like I feel like it really came through in that dragon of like, I don't know what the situation is, but this thing is worthy of respect in this world, whatever it is,
That does bring me back to like in Dark Souls 1, there is actually the decaying dragon or it's something like that where it like vomits this purple juice.
Oh my God.
But there is still like there's an air about it. It's just like it's this really old dragon that's just like whoa. Like there's still something kind of sad about it, so it's not soulless.
Right.
Yeah, I can think of a couple of things in Bloodborne I have absolutely no respect for you.
It's Jesus. It's usually you know what it is? It's usually the humans. It's the stupid little. It's like it's either the townsfolk or the witches that are just dancing around.
Not these freaks.
What freaks are you thinking of?
Brain suckers and winter lanterns.
God. F those brain suckers.
Yeah. Straight to hell with them.
Yeah. I respect the winter lanterns.
No, you never played Bloodborne, you would?
Yeah.
Well, not to the point of these.
Not enough.
Of these jerkwads.
You know what's a weird connection with the Miyazakis then? Thinking about Hayao Miyazaki and from Studio Ghibli and whatnot.
Yeah.
You've seen that clip, right? Of him. Oh, it's one of my favorite things on planet Earth.
Yeah, we'll watch it later. Because I'm not sure what you're
Oh, God. It's the one where he's also talking about a concept which is so similar to what From Software's Miyazaki was talking about, where it's from this documentary, and it's Miyazaki, the director of, Spirited Away and Princess Mononoke and all that stuff, very similar to My Warriors. You know him from My Warriors fame.
Because that's what he voiced.
I call dibs on My Warriors. I got a real connection to that pig.
Yeah.
But he's in this meeting and people are showing him like, hey Miyazaki, we made these sick CG animations. Like basically they're like, hey, check out this 3D tech. We're able to procedurally generate the animation of this like monstrous looking thing for I think a video game or something. And it's like just some Silent Hill looking enemy where it's like blah, 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 falling apart.
Soulless.
And Miyazaki just looks at it and he's just like, no. He's like, this thing is struggling. And then he just tells the story of, he's like, yeah, a friend of mine took care of his dying grandmother for 7 months before she died. And it was a struggle every day for her to slowly lift herself out of the bathtub. And now you're showing these decaying things moving fast with their attack patterns. And then he looked at this guy's eyes, who was clearly a big fan and trying to impress him. Yeah. And he looked him in the eyes and he goes, I think the work that you've done here today is not only an insult to animation, it's an insult to life itself.
Wow.
And the guy has tears in his eyes.
Is this one of your favorite things?
Oh, it's so amazing.
I was gonna say, like,
I'm not
a psychopath, but I do really want to see that.
Okay, I'll have to show you. It's like, so good.
What do you type in YouTube? Schadenfreude to the max?
Yeah, Schadenfreude, no filter. And then that Miyazaki thing comes up. Anyways, From Software, Elden Ring, the other Miyazaki is also very talented for everything he does. But that has been my favorite moment so far. The place with Moon Maiden, what's her name?
Moon Lady.
Big Moon Queen. That castle, like
Renala.
Yeah,
Renala.
The layout of that entire section of the map is so wild. It's like here's two ridges on the side,
right,
and then just death swamp in the middle. You'll eventually have to work around there. I think it was just so cool. And then eventually getting in there.
I like that area.
Yeah, and then coming up against just hallway after hallway of just blah, 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 just Burger King guys throwing spells. And there's that one area where it's like, here's the treasure chest over here. Get through us if you can. And there's like a message where it's like, try sneaking. And I was like, okay, maybe that was a plug for Burger King's Sneak King game 100%. Now that I think about it. So I was trying to like be stealthy around it, and then it was just, nope, the second you're spotted, just Gatling gun of spells and you're dead. Oh, it's so brutal.
I ran so fast. So fast and so far, straight to that red dog.
Yeah, that's why it was such a relief to finally get to her and be like, okay, at least she's not throwing spells at me left and right. But
in that castle, like I think one of the fights that I've struggled with the most is that I don't even remember what the name of it is, but it's...
You didn't even have one. It's just Dickhead Knight.
Actually, that was his name. It was Dickhead Knight.
Respect me.
I'm Dickhead Knight. Yeah, so Dickhead Knight just had like... He could parry anything that I threw at him. So like anytime that I'd swing at him, he'd just be like, gotcha. And it would be...
and he'd wink every time.
Because he's Dickhead Knight. And then it was a one-shot. He would kill me every time one-shotting me. So, yeah, I actually had to use a different weapon to kill him. Do you remember this guy? It was right after the there was that boulder or that like
marble.
You have to go off to the right and go up.
Yeah.
Yes. That was a couple tries. Yeah. It wasn't too bad.
I died more to that guy than the boss.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Considerably.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boulder I think was tough to like navigate. Okay, where is this thing bouncing?
Right, yeah.
The one that killed me, and I still haven't beat it, and I'm trying to remember, it felt like it was in this area, but I don't think it was. I think it was later on. But there's another area that feels like it, where it's like a library. It's a weird kind of one-off.
Oh.
God, I'm trying to remember what it is. But it's a library where it eventually is just you trying to like kill this guy, and he keeps like
I know
teleporting
exactly
higher
yeah.
and higher, and eventually gets to the top floor of this library, and you're like going around in this circle. I did it for so long, and I was like, I can't do it anymore.
This guy's a dickhead mage.
Did you kill him?
Yeah.
God, that's frustrating.
Yeah, 45 minutes of me just like shooting him with an arrow. Oh, it was awful.
Okay, so the arrow, I don't use a bow and arrow at all. It was like, I think it was 45 hours in before it like gave me a pop that's like, you should be using bow and arrow.
I think I know what I'm doing here.
Try poison darts
Oh, really?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
that chump?
for that chump.
Because I kill all of his little minions and then get to that last floor.
And he's still running around. Like, yeah.
And it's always like you can get him a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's tick, 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 tick. Oh, so infuriating. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
That guy's not good.
Big time.
People are asking Grant. People are demanding
yes.
more Grant talk. More
Absolutely.
Grant talk.
What am I talking about?
They want to know your diet strategies, your workout regimen, if you have any better quest goals.
I have to wee-wee.
Oh, great. Hey, we should, well, he wee-wees real quick.
Sure.
We do have a better quest goal of doing push-ups.
Yeah.
What's the, I'm just kind of slowly trailing along with you. What is your goal here?
I started with 1,000 in the month of January, and then I'm adding 250 for each month. So the month of April is 1,750.
Which sounds insane, but to break it up day by day.
Yeah, it's 58 a day at this point.
Which isn't that bad.
No.
And I really thought, like, what are you talking about? 58 a day? That's nothing. And then I did one of my push-ups in front of you, and I can only describe it as never stopped laughing at my push-up strategy. It's like, well, anybody can do like 1,000 of those push-ups, you moron. Because it turns out your key to a push-up is hands super tight and then touch nose to ground.
Yeah. I mean, that's like strict form is like hands at the sides.
Hands like shoulder?
Yeah, I mean, just outside of shoulder would be like a strict push-up. I'll sometimes do wide ones too.
Could you do one on the table to demonstrate? People are demanding.
I'd prefer not to.
Okay, well, hey, teach their own. We let everybody be comfortable. Okay, so it's how many a day now?
I think it's 58.3.
Okay, and you're not doing that in one go, right?
No, I mix it up throughout the day.
Okay, how many sessions are you at? Because I can do like 25 to 26 at a time.
I keep it between 10 and 20 at a time right now.
Really? 10 to 20?
Yeah, I like to break it up.
10 seems low.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still paranoid that maybe I'm doing it just like I'm worried about Elden Ring.
You do your push-ups however you want to do them, man.
Okay, well, all right. Let's see. Do you think I can do it on the table, or is it going to collapse?
I think you're fine.
Okay, I'll show you how I was doing. You can narrate it for people that are just listening, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Grant, you got to narrate.
He's adjusting things on the table. He's seductively crawling on the table.
Yeah. Okay. So here's how I was doing it. Something roughly like that.
Ooh.
Too wide.
Ooh.
Too wide of a stance. And then you say, no, you got to do it like this. And then.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay. Thank you. Touch the nose.
Yes.
Hang on. I'm getting a beer. Monologue.
Okay. So I don't think this thing is going to be super tough until like October, November, December. Once it gets to be like 120 a day, it's probably gonna
What?
It's probably gonna suck at that point. Yeah.
120 a day?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't think muscle mass can be built that quick.
Well, it's not so much building mass, I guess. It's just getting more efficient at it. Because you have to.
What do you mean?
Well, to build muscle mass, you have to eat you have to eat more calories than you're burning in a day, and you have to eat like a certain amount of grams of protein per body weight kind of stuff.
So if I've been lifting weights every day, but I haven't been doing anything beyond that for my diet,
you'll gain efficiency, and you'll be able to move a little bit more weight or do more reps of your current weight. But to build actual muscle mass, you have to eat at more calories than you burn in a day.
Okay. See, this is all news to me. People are saying I need to lower my butt. That was a weak push-up.
I wasn't gonna call you out on the stream, but
what are you doing? That's the point, is to call me out.
Sorry. Okay. They're doing it for you.
But people were trying to ask.
This is yours, by the way. It got moved for a push-up demonstration. Don't worry about it.
You did it on the table?
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
good.
Yours is coming up next. We're looking forward to it.
me
Look
add 'em.
forward to best friend Ronnie's Kegel exercises on the table. Here we go.
Because I know what Kegels are.
And release.
No, but people are wondering about your build, Grant.
I went pure strength and dex.
Yes.
1 ounce of armor below fat rolling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is the most like sword and board I've ever gone in a Demon Souls type game before.
Yeah.
It was kind of satisfying. I liked it actually.
Totally.
Really?
I've usually been a speedy little dex dweeb.
Well, they allow it in this game. I mean, like you can still kind of. There's no difference between medium roll and light roll. That's kind of it's probably a little bit disappointing actually. Like now that I think about it, is like there should be I feel like a better, and maybe there is. Maybe I just don't know. Like the advantage of doing a light roll versus a medium roll.
There has to be some.
There's got to be something.
iframe difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something, but I used the big pizza cutter from Volcano Manor with the blood damage on it.
Whirligig.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Whirligig 2.0.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it in this game, but I mean it's the Whirligig.
The Whirly
It seems
Blade.
like everybody seems to be talking about this bleed damage as the second coming of Christ for this game.
It's pretty awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what my whips are. Yeah.
That's what I used
Really?
for
Yeah.
Bleeding whips?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
So it's an invisible bar that builds up on the enemy, and once you get it full, it takes like
A lot of.
it could be like 30% of their health in one big chunk.
I
Really?
think
bunch
they
of blood was-
nerf. Yeah.
Oh,
and
that's good.
I also
Yeah.
think they nerfed it post patch.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I used for the white dragon too. So there was like 4 or 5 minutes of whacking because after every 25th whack, it would just go,
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
in a huge chunk.
Starkiller says Grant needs to teach Sarah Pozorski the ways of the pizza cutter. Apparently.
Really?
Oh, is that what she's using?
struggling to use
cut-
it, I guess. She lost faith, says Star. Oh, she switched away from it.
Oh,
I mean, hey, that's the thing. You can't tell anybody what to do for these games.
Yeah.
They can
That's the
just-
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
they-
Fun of this game is.
to each their own.
To
Yeah.
each their own, as many wise people say. Something that I was confused about is, I forget if it was the first dragon I killed or what, but the idea of like, oh, you must go to the dragon mountain and use the dragon pedestal on the dragon.
That's what the narrator said.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this? And then I eventually just Googled it. And it's like, yeah, it turns out, you idiot, in Limgrave, there's that island that you didn't go to. And then you go there and you unlock the dragon altar and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
I take it you've done this, Ronnie?
Yeah. Yes, I did. I don't use any dragon stuff.
I don't either, but I think it was like Dan Tack over at Game Informer. Like I saw his dragon build. I think he posted some video about it somewhere. And I was like,
cool.
God, that looks super fun. If you're like all in, like I am just a dragon build, it looks
Yeah,
ridiculous.
those dragon spells look really cool.
Yeah.
I never had the build to use it though, so I went out there a couple times just to see what it was all about. But that was about it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I think in the game that it's might be my biggest gripe is that it feels like to make you can't have any type of magic, whether that the like kind of the dragon magic or the beast's magic or faith magic or intelligence magic, like arcane magic. You can't have any of that without either intelligence or faith. You have to have one of those two, and it's like, there's a whole bunch, like there's arcane builds. Like I'm in an arcane build, still can't use really any magic because you need arcane, and faith and a little intelligence. It's like, well, why can't there just be like for each build set, like, I don't know, just like some basic spells so you don't have to have faith or intelligence to use literally any spell. I think that's kind of a bit of a gripe on my part.
You concur, Grant?
Yeah, I mean,
Time for rebuttal, please.
what's that?
Said it's your time for rebuttal.
After finishing the game, I started up New Game Plus and Respect to Magic just to see
What it was like.
What it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still don't think it's for me. I mean,
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I've done entire runs of I think Dark Souls. I did a magic run, and
Sure, yeah.
some of the appeal, I guess, is lost to me on like the grandiose boss fights if you don't get close to them,
Right.
Ever.
Yeah. If you're not hitting their crotch, like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If the camera's not glitching.
Yeah. Right.
Are you really
if I'm
playing?
not trying to chop off their toe, like, come on.
I think once a little bit of time has passed, I'll probably go back and do a brand new run.
Yeah,
too,
I
and
think
Yeah.
that's what I'm planning on doing
maybe do
too.
a freaky faith dragon build or something.
Yeah.
I think you were asking this before we started rolling, but how much of the game do we have left to go? Because I keep hearing like, oh, don't be naive. There's so much more than you think.
And I was asking him if he really wants to know.
Yeah, and I don't know if I really like.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
More than we expect, fair to say?
There's a good chunk left, yeah.
Good chunk.
Okay.
There's optional areas that are you're yet to be able to get to as well.
Oh, fun.
Some of them are pretty significant too.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love it.
So yeah, like there's a big difference between your progress for the main quest and your progress for the game itself.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards just main quest in it. Like the idea of like optional super hard bosses. Like I don't think that's for me.
I mean,
right.
You can at least see what it's all about.
I'll poke around the edges. I'll see what's going on. But I mean, the SOBs, I think the biggest SOB on the map that I haven't beat yet is in that northwest area, the guy that's in the crater.
Oh, yeah. The stone scorpion dude?
I forget what he even looks like, but that was one I went up against him a couple times. I was like, nope.
It's a stone bull, right?
Is that what it is?
It's like a stone. I always think of it like a stone insect. I was like, it's got this like two little. Yeah, it's got like a big tail.
It's like a stone lemur.
No, I killed the stone lemur. No, it's like
it doesn't have bull horns.
Falling star beast. I think it might. Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't. It has more of like a mandible. It's got like two mandibles.
Yeah. Well, the point is, that was the biggest.
They're not
SOP,
horns.
Okay, I got it. That northwest area, I think it's
Mount Helmage.
Yeah, I was fascinated by it because for so long I could not figure out how to navigate that. It feels so open, but it's like, okay, this is just like one big labyrinth.
It's absolutely not, yeah.
And it turns out what I was missing is just one super tall ladder,
right?
Kind of hidden off to the left. You know,
by those Iron Maiden looking things. Like
favorite enemy in the game. Like
they're terrifying.
Oh, they're the worst. Hang on, Grant's showing Ronnie a picture right now.
Yeah, those are mandibles. They're mandibles.
They are mandible-y.
They're mandibles, and they also move.
Barely.
They move.
Barely a mandible.
I mean, it's like
to be fair, Ronnie, if he sees a handlebar mustache, he calls them mandibles. So
you're not supposed to tell people that.
But
most insects have four legs.
The great
hooves, as some might say.
Insects, I know.
All insects have hooves, but not all hooves have insects.
That's right.
Mandibles.
But yeah, the Iron Maiden guys. Like the first time I saw those, I guess I'm trying to remember. I think it was in the Academy area. I forget, but there's just like one that just wheels by like, and he comes around and is like, what is this guy gonna do? And this whole thing opens up and he grabs you and throws you inside. He does this whirling dervish move.
Oh my gosh,
they're my favorite for just being the most chaotic. Like I don't even understand what I'm looking at, but I know that it sucks to get near you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I didn't find this out except through TikTok. You can jump on top of them and one-shot them with like a visceral attack through the top.
Really?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to give that a shot.
Yeah.
By the way,
give it a go.
That TikTok you sent me today, Ronnie. Unbelievable.
I think he's my favorite guy. I really appreciate.
There's going to be a link in the description for everybody. Remind me to put that in there.
Can't park here. Yeah.
It's really a work of art.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
TikTok. I very much did. Let's see. The other things. Just that whole northwest area was a pain in the butt. The kind of plateau area, with the weird
Altus
village
Plateau?
monsters and all that. What's that?
Altus Plateau?
I think it's Atlas.
No, it's Altus.
I think so. I think it's L first.
It's Altus.
It's L first.
So Alfred's Plateau, the thing about that, but like there's a whole section where it's like you need to unlock. There's like the mysterious hidden fortress, and you have to attack like the 3 things to like unlock that and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Excuse me?
The turtles?
Not the turtle Pope. You not know what I'm talking about?
No, but do you remember? Did you ever find the turtle tower where you had to
Heroes in a Half Shell? Turtle tower?
Is a turtle tower where you had to find the 3 magical turtles and you had to kill those. One was on a tree, and then it would open up.
No.
I
didn't do
Lake Lernia
game.
Lake Lernia.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No, there's just a plateau from where you attack the 3 things and it was like marked on the map about like go here.
Right, yeah, in Alfred's Plateau, yeah. yeah. No, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah,
that was
by
cool.
the death vomiting things that both terrify and frustrate me so much.
Yes, like having that meter build up about what is it called? Is that a thing from
it's
other
like,
from some?
Well,
from
yeah, it's
from sums.
There's a bunch of different meters that can build up on you.
God,
yeah, but it's the one. It's
the Scarlet Rod is my number one hated thing.
Yeah, Rod sucks.
No, I think the death one, like that, because that one's it's immediate death,
just insta kill.
Yeah, it's
especially like those little like
the
bulgy-eyed froggy things in the caves.
Essentially like Doom of Final Fantasy.
Yes, that's what it reminds me of. Yeah, for sure.
It is. It is Altus Plateau. Altus first.
Really?
It is Altus. Yeah.
Wow, I'll be damned.
Yeah.
You should get that checked out.
Do you think I should?
Well, Hellbred, Atlas, there's a couple. Like, maybe. You got to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, I guess it's my fault for playing the game and not reading the map, everybody.
No, that's fine.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
I'd say I took notes on other things that were cool in this game for this section.
Mm-hmm.
For this section.
Yeah. Here's what I wrote down. Ghost, headless troll in the woods. Cool. Do you remember him? He's just roaming around in the woods, and it was just one of those big trolls with the effed up stomachs, except he didn't have a head. This was pretty early on in the kind of academy area. He's on the left hand side. Oh, I love that when I saw it for the first time. I'm like, what is this freak in the woods? I love it.
Actually, I do think I know what you're talking about. It's okay. It's does he have some magic that he does too?
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
Let's see other stuff. I was frustrated with them, but now that I'm leveled up, I went back and just annihilated them. But in one of just a little, what do you call them? Mini dungeons? I don't know what you'd call them.
Catacombs.
Catacombs?
Yeah, maybe.
Unless we're talking like the underground, the subterranean jail things.
Not the No. Not the jowls, and not the mines, but the catacombs.
Okay.
But that one with that boss with the freaking snail, like the snail kingpin. I texted you about it, Grant. You're like, I don't know what you're talking about. Did you fight this SOB, Ronnie? He's like, you fight this, you go all the way down to the catacombs and all that jazz, and then there's just this ghost boss that you fight, and you're fighting him, but the health meter isn't moving. It's like, what is happening here? Then, which is a challenge in its own right when I first got there, but then if you manage to kill him, then like in the corner of this catacomb room, it's like little stupid dweeby snails like
and that's the boss.
Yeah, and then it's there for like 3 seconds and then it goes away.
Yep.
And there's like, okay, now I guess I fight this monster again. So you just have to like hit that window, but like I could never do enough damage to him in that time. And so it's so satisfying being like level 100 to go back like, where's that snail? Where's that snail? Get out of here. Yeah.
Bring him out.
It was very, very fun.
The thing is, I did not struggle with that fight because there was some little hint that like one of those little
some brave soul put down for you.
some message that indicated that it's just like, okay, it's one of these fights because it's not common, but Dark Souls From Software has done this a couple times before, where it's just like you're looking around, like Witches of Hemwick. Yeah, Witches of Hemwick. Yeah, it's that same thing. Like you're looking around while there's another enemy that's pursuing you that doesn't have anything to do with the boss fight, but you're looking for this invisible thing somewhere. So yeah, we figured it out.
Oh, that's diabolical. Yeah, there's one of those moments too where you're fighting one of the giants, one of the guys that's like the archers. I forget if he was specifically an archer, but I loved it because like those guys are kind of chumps based on everything I've fought so far. But they appeared. I'm trying to remember where it was. I want to say it was maybe in the Altus Plateau area. But he appeared, and I'm fighting him, and I was like, "What is this little dweeb?" It's just like a little human man running around, and he was doing like 5 times the damage that the big guy was doing. So it was so fun to be like focusing on this big guy. And be like, What are you doing? Oh wait, you're the real boss here. Okay, all right, got it. Yeah. Fun, silly stuff in this game.
I ended up skipping a lot of catacombs because the reward was always an ash of ore that I can't use.
Yep, I'm exactly in that camp. Yeah. Wait, you can't use them either for your sword?
I was using
weird thing?
the pizza cutter, with somber stones too. So it's like, well, if it's going to be something that's just not going to do anything for me, I'm just going to
I'm kind of getting to that point. Like how many times do we need to be attacked by goblins in these hallways?
Yeah.
The chariot. Oh my god!
I don't know if I've gone through that because there's multiple places with those chariots. And one I felt like I could outrun, and another one I don't think I could.
I was already in skip it territory by that time, so
really,
I hate it. Yeah,
I hate you, Jerry.
I had so much fun with Volcano Manor, though.
Oh yeah,
honestly, I think
that boss fight too, Riker.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah,
hang on, which one's this? I know the manor, and they said, "Do you want to go up against the Erd tree?" And I made the mistake of like Googling it. Every time I've Googled something for this game, I think I've largely regretted it.
Sure.
Because then it just turns into too much of like a formula. But Googling it, it's like, yeah, just go ahead and sign with them. There's no downside.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
Because like, no, I don't think I'm going to go up against the Erd tree. I like the Erd tree.
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And then, and I sent that over to Grant and a couple other guys, and it's just like, you should probably like go back and do it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I did. And that's the thing is like, there's a lot of the game unlocked by that seemingly just innocuous decision that you just made.
Right. Right.
And I don't like that. I don't like that because if you say no, then like, okay.
It just seems like a one-off room.
Totally.
And there's so much more there too. And it's like,
I want to make sure that I'm getting all of it though, because like there's the room with the lady who's like, I'm a snake now, forgive me, and all that stuff. But then the rest of it is just like going on those quests and going on and killing those people and coming back. Like that's the core of it. Well, I have one more of those in kind of the snowy area that I haven't got to yet. But
you killed the Godskin boss, right?
Yeah.
And you didn't go beyond that?
I'm trying to remember.
There's one big old boss after that.
There's a big baddie after that.
Big baddie.
I'm trying to remember.
You would remember this.
I don't know. I mean, I forget a lot.
I do too, but you wouldn't forget this one.
I didn't write any notes about it.
Yeah, interesting. You didn't do it then.
You must not have done it.
So go back to the
and I get it because
area?
I was really struggling with the end of Volcano Manor. Like it is. I knew that there was something else there, but it took me like 2 days to find this last boss.
At your level now, it's going to be
it's going to be pretty trivial, but
it's going to be a cakewalk. But
it's such a good fight.
I wrote down finally using summoning pools to try with the 2 bosses Crucible Knight. Is that that's
the
not
Crucible
it?
Knights? Jesus, I hate those guys.
Okay. All right, never mind then.
Yeah, this is different. If you want, we can look at I can check your Steam achievements just to double check.
There's no way.
Yeah.
You would remember this. You would remember this because it's like you have to use a particular, you are likely using a particular thing in this. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. All right. I mean, there's a lot I know that I'm missing. Let's see. Other stuff that stands out y'all want to talk about? Otherwise, I got a bunch of random notes so we can just jump around to nonsense.
I mean, yes, there's a million things, but I mean, nothing that's like jumping to mind. So yeah, some prompts will be okay.
Here's a prompt. That Korea Manor, it's called The Castle Filled with the Hands.
Oh, yeah.
Those stupid hands that are popping up out of like basically the grave sites in the entire area.
I almost returned the game.
They're such SOBs. Oh my God.
Once they have you stun locked a little bit and they load up for the big old flick.
Yes. I mean, they're hilarious. Yes. It's just fighting Master Hand in Smash Brothers. Or even like then when you're in the capital.
9 fingers.
Yeah. And there's areas in the capital where you're kind of into like the underground areas and the hands are just like hanging up like cobwebs ready to jump down. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and then you can do the I see you there and then they flick you off a little bit.
Damn, it's got me.
It's ridiculous.
For enemy design, that's like top 5 in this game for me. Maybe top 3. They're just so silly.
They're very silly. They're very frustrating.
Yeah.
Did you guys find the like in the roundtable hold, there's that guy that's infested. He's like, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And then he gives you a key to the sewer. And then you go underneath the Capitol to the sewer to find his body.
No. I heard that this was like a big important thing, but I haven't done it.
Okay, yeah.
He didn't give me a key. He just told me to leave him alone continually.
Yeah, I don't know like when or how he gave me a key, but after a while he's like, find my body.
I was in the sewers a lot, but he didn't care.
So you found the sewers. Mm-hmm. Okay. So there's a locked door there, and I found him. And he's just like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna kill children. I'm gonna kill wives.
Really?
Yeah. And then like your thing is like, you can leave the jail, or you just like don't say anything. But if you leave the jail, or if you tell him to leave the jail, he's like, oh, this is a big mistake. And then you go back to the round table hole, and then I went in there. So his red phantom is gone, and it says, meet me in the outer moat. And I thought, that's awesome.
Wait, red phantom? What do you mean?
The like that red phantom. I mean, like he was like this shadow dude.
Okay.
Do you like in round table hold across like just past the 2 kind of like dead
ball-bearing ladies.
Ball-bearing crone ladies.
Ball-bearing ladies?
Yeah.
You
get ball bearings and then you give them to her.
They're a vendor.
Yeah, and they become a vendor.
Oh.
So
yeah,
like...
I know there's the merchant.
Yeah, and there's that closed door. Well, in the beginning, it's like a closed door. Okay, it opens up at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and there's that phantom in there. And then so like I went back there, and he said like it's just the sign that says like meet me by the moat, the outer moat. It's like, this is great. Where's the outer moat? Like it doesn't like on the map, it doesn't actually say like, hey, this is this region. Yeah. So I have no idea where he's. I want to find him. It's an outer moat.
Yeah, I heard, and hopefully this isn't a spoiler for that whole arena. I don't think it would be, but like I heard somebody saying that like, oh, it sucks that kind of the round table is so disconnected from anything else in the world. I saw somebody talking about this on Twitter, and I think like Jason Schreier on Twitter is like, well, you should explore the kind of lower regions of the capital more. So I assume that's kind of that quest line. Like that's kind of what's connecting it to that area.
Maybe, yeah.
Does that make sense, Grant? Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so I should go back and explore this more?
Well, I mean, I guess, but that whole thing was prompted by this guy. At some point, he asks you, he like gives you that key, which was the thing that brought me down. Like, so I went back to the capital just searching around and finally found it. Okay. There's no reason to do that if you don't get that key. I mean, like it's still another area. Yeah, it's not very big, but
there's a lot in the sewers.
Oh, is there? Really? Okay, so like I barely tapped it then.
Okay, it's because I'm a dummy, and I didn't climb up the dragon first in the capital. I went into the sewers first.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I spent a lot of time down there.
Wow. Yeah, I must have just hit some locked doors and then just went back.
You crawled down a well, don't you?
Is there
a couple places?
Yeah, there's a few ways to get in the sewers.
Yeah.
God, that's interesting. The Ainsel River.
Oh, yeah.
That whole area.
The giant ants.
Yeah, the big mama queen ants and all that fun stuff down there.
I love them.
Yeah, that was one of those where I went down there the first time. I was like, okay, is this the like going down that everybody's been talking about? But I think what they're talking about is kind of the Blythe Wolf Man area, right?
Yep.
And is that separate from this?
I think they're both in the underground.
It's just kind of the
domain.
Underground. Okay.
You'll know when the map switches over, I feel like.
There's some interconnectivity, but technically they are separate.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed exploring that area. I freaking love that room where it's just the giant skeleton statue. Yeah, you fight that dragon who's kind of a chump, but that statue looked amazing. Hang on.
No, he was a chump.
I feel like it's a weird combo of like, I feel like I'm really bad at this game, but I feel like all the big bosses, I'm like, I don't think that was that bad. But I'm certainly dying a lot in this game. It's just from random turds. Sure. I feel like, compared to like the big marquee bosses.
Yeah. No, that the boss by the throne area, by that big skeleton throne, I bet it was like 4 or 5 tries for me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure it was for me. That's fair. That's Trump territory for me, I think. I have a higher Trump threshold, I think is what I'm trying to say.
Me too.
But I feel like I don't really understand the Ainsel River area, because I feel like on that map there's so many other areas that looks like I can go to, but I'm kind of stuck about like
the underground areas.
I'm running to other areas, and it's like, okay, here's like a waterfall and I can't get up it, or
I know yes, I have a lot of that, like where I feel like I'm missing a lot of either I'm missing a lot of the like the places that I've already explored, or I'm missing a lot of the underground territory that I could be exploring that I just haven't found.
Right. And then others, there's one overlook area in the underground, I forget where it is, where it's just like super pink. There's like this whole pink area.
Yes,
this
it's
looks
right by
awesome.
the throne. It's right by, oh my God, I completely forgot about that.
Like at some point I need to get here. I just don't know how to get over there.
Oh my God, yeah.
But the underground is a big thing we should focus on, Grant?
I mean, in terms of like completionist stuff, yeah.
Okay.
And also just they're unique in their own ways too.
Yeah.
If the pink thing is what I'm thinking of, it's a pretty cool area.
But I guess like down below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the underground stuff was very cryptic on how to advance. I will absolutely agree.
No, absolutely. Like it feels like they're like these just kind of in a way like bonus areas, because they had so much downtime making this game, I guess. Where they just
bored.
Like I fought an underground boss that I guess I won't say anything because I'm not sure if you guys have done this one yet. And it was a huge boss arena.
Yeah.
And within that, there was a very easy thing to miss that would bring you further. Like, and it just, it felt like a boss arena, like, oh, okay, there's a site of grace, so I fought the boss and I'm out of here.
And then you left. Was it a coffin?
Maybe.
Have you found the coffin?
The coffin?
There we go.
It was so
beyond missable.
The only reason why I saw it was because, again, it was a message that just said something like set of grace, but first, and then it points, it's like coffin or something like that.
Huh.
Sure.
And then you go by and you can interact with it.
Yeah.
And it leads to a whole completely different
ridiculous
territory.
Because
would you, if you met somebody, look, I know this is a stupid question, but based on stuff like that, if you ever met somebody, let's say like some random guy at a bar and you guys start talking about video games, which I know is kind of your lifestyle, is talking to random guys at bars about video games. But he argued like, hey, Elden Ring's the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
Would any of us raise an eyebrow? Like at this point, it's like, no, absolutely. I fully understand that argument.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that I like 100% agree, but I can absolutely I can see why somebody would say that, and I could, I guess, agree with it.
Yeah. Well, there it is. There it is, everybody. Put it in writing.
Yeah.
Put it in stone.
Quote it.
Quote it as
in your
much
next
as you
paper.
want. Yeah. Grant, you raised an eyebrow at that.
I'm trying to think of. I don't have a counter argument other than just. I mean, other than just like personal taste.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But it's not a game where that claim is outrageous in any way.
Yeah.
There's just so much stuff.
Yeah.
It is truly ridiculous. Like my heart goes out to anybody trying to write a guide for this game, but like, okay, then this, then this, then this. Not only you're ruining kind of the magic of it, but there's just so many secrets and absurd things. And maybe it's just coming in fresh and not playing a From Software game before, but just when I was streaming this game, people were like, oh no, to understand the story of this game, what you need to do is go to the woods in Limgrave and then whistle, and then the wolf will come out, he'll drop out of a tree. And I was like, what are you talking about?
See, even at my point, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about there.
If we hadn't talked about it previously on that bike ride, like I have no idea what he'd be talking about. Nothing. And people that are finding that organically is just mind-boggling to me. Mm-hmm. I don't have. I'm not kicking every rock over. Like I just don't have that much patience or time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I love this game. I feel like at times, like, oh, it's kind of like a Breath of the Wild, but imagine if all the dungeons were really compelling and memorable.
In a way, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I'm not saying, I don't think it's better than Breath of the Wild, for me at least. But
it is.
Oh, interesting. Interesting thing. But I'm still struggling every once in a while with like, God, I love the freedom. I love treating it like it's Shadow of the Colossus 2 and just roaming around finding weird stuff. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, I mean, I've just been admiring and I love those big bell turtle boys. Should I be doing something with them?
If you want to.
Have you done anything with them?
Done nothing with them. I brought one down.
Oh, well, that's something.
Well, it is, but then like it was so early in the game. Yeah, it was so early in the game. Like I went in, and they're just, it's like, come back later. Like I didn't know what I just didn't know what to do with it. Like
you hadn't reached that point of interactivity with it, right?
Yeah, and I guess like I don't remember what it like. I should go back there.
How'd you bring it down? I haven't even done that.
Well, you just like you bat at its little heels. Yeah.
Tell me, I never even tried to attack it. That sounds crazy. I don't remember that.
The first one I found, there was a vendor close by, and I bought one of those little sheets of paper that tells you what you have to do to bring it down. So
yeah.
Do you want to know what?
I kind of do, because I feel like I feel like I used to know, or I used to have an idea of like what it was trying to do. I know that I could just go back there and probably figure it out. But yeah,
absolutely.
If you could just
sure. So the reason when you brought it down the first time is because you hadn't killed Godric yet.
Right. Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So when you purchase things from the Two Finger Lady using the Great Souls, like the first one you get is Godric's.
I got the X.
Yeah. So the Walking Mausoleums let you recreate the boss Great Soul, so you can purchase the second item.
Oh, okay. So you can.
I'm sorry. So the turtles that you recreate.
Yeah.
The Great Soul that you use for the other item.
Yep.
Weird.
Got it. Okay. So if you wanted both the items that like they were offering.
Yeah. Or you can recreate the soul itself and just consume it too.
And get like just a bunch of souls.
Yes.
Oh.
Which that's the mistake I've been making, is I've been saving up all of like my runes and stuff. Like the pop them when you need them runes. And I've been saving them to the point where it's like, well, by the time I use these, they're going to be
obsolete.
Yeah, so like pop them when you got them. Basically, is
I always look at it as just like if I just need like an extra, at this point I guess like 10, 15,000 souls to get my level, then I'll just pop them.
So am I treating it wrong where I for all those things I'll get those weapons or whatever from beating the big bads, and it's like, well, I don't use swords, I don't use these weapons, so I guess I'll just use the runes for all these.
Yeah,
So.
if
you don't, sure.
If it was stats I wasn't going to use too, like it was all the faith or intellect based weapons, I just took the souls and then bought their armor set with it.
Okay.
So one other thing that we haven't talked about that, again, I keep on saying like, I don't use a guide, but I asked Grant about 700,000 questions about this.
Sure.
So like there was the great runes.
I did not understand those until the streams. Where I was streaming it the last time, people were like, "Why aren't you using a great rune?"
Right, exactly.
What?
Yes.
I have no idea what this is. And now I have 2.
Yeah, I think that's what I have too. Maybe 2, maybe 3. I feel like I have 3 now.
I still haven't used one ever. I don't think.
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah, you should use one.
I should use this. Which one do you have equipped?
The equipping does nothing though.
The equipping, then you have to use
you gotta pop
rune
the
arc.
thing.
Yeah. It's the first one. It's like raises all attributes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you think it's Godric's or?
I have this thing, and I forget. People on stream, I think, were trying to explain why it happened, but am I alone? I don't know what I equipped or how, but every time I fast travel to a new spot, it just whenever I fast travel there, it'll show all these like, not attributes, but
little little bosses.
Yeah.
What is that? What is it?
Resistances.
Yeah, and it's just like,
yep.
What is that?
It's just saying that your resistances have increased as a result of either having like an item on or
could be a talisman. Could just be
maybe
exactly.
it's a talisman somewhere. I can't think of what talisman.
So it's just telling you that you have something on that your resistances are naturally increased.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it must have been a talisman that I didn't quite connect to. I think one of my favorite areas in the game are I forget the name of it. I'm sorry, but it's like the kind of cliffside ruins where it's just you're kind of like hugging this cliff and slowly working your way, and there's these people that are singing
the bats,
along the way. And it's just this weird twisted. I love the idea of like, all right, just hug the side of this cliff and navigate these singing weirdos for a while. And it's so fun.
I love the singing bats because then you'll see other bats around that are just like, I love this song.
Having a concert, I might be wrong, but I think that's completely missable too. Like if you were to get both pieces of the medallion, you could just take the elevator and never use that cliff passage, right?
So
I didn't get that both halves of the medallion until much later.
Way later. In fact, I just got it, so I know where that other half is. It's in Dragonborough, which is like that North Caelid where the dragons are.
Yeah.
There's like no way you would be able to get there.
It's just in some crap hole castle.
Yeah.
I went there earlier than I should have.
But Did you get it?
But it was shortly after I'd already taken that passage.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
Oh, my God.
So you could kind of limp your way through that.
You probably could.
That dumb little castle.
And
get the medallion. But
I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah. Because it's like, it's this big moment of like, hey, the big elevator and the big thing unlocking. It's like, wait, it's just the area that I've already explored thoroughly?
I mean,
I would think that we're in the majority of people that do it that way. I mean, I don't think I'm
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's Dragonborough is like, it feels like I'm at like 110, 115. Like that's the level that I feel like you should be at around there. Like I remember getting a somber smithing stone 8
Somber
there.
de Amigo.
Somber smithing stone 8 there. And I was at a 6 when I first got there. And so I was like looking for the 7. So like, and to get to Altus, like Altus is like, in terms of like the somber smithing stones, I'm guessing that's like at the 4-5 territory. Like
that sounds about right.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know what they were thinking. No, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Caelid, I stand by, has the biggest range.
Yeah,
for sure. Because like that little it's like does it have Ray Lucaria Glintstone Cavern or whatever that's in Caelid? The place you get transported to, it's like you could probably do it at 50 or 60.
Yeah. No, it is. Yep, that's in Caelid.
Then the Dragonborough, like the black, the Anubis looking dude at the yeah that feels like he should be like 100 for that guy.
I don't want to tell anybody what to do, but I feel like some big YouTube essayist should just focus on Caelid. Like everything you can talk about with Caelid, all the video essays you can wring out of that, which is what an interesting weird place is. And I love it for like the place right next to the starting area, but the place with the full range of levels that you need in order to conquer it. Like that is such a diabolically genius piece of design.
Right.
Jacob Keller, get on Caelid. Where's your Caelid essay, buddy?
Be like if the Barons had Black Rock Depths and WoW right next to it. Like,
oh yeah, yeah, you're right.
There's a 40 level jump.
Yeah. It's just some uneven mess. Let's see.
RFK. Wasn't it RFK? Razor Fin Crawl?
There's a Razor Fin Crawl somewhere.
Yeah, that's like 40s.
Hey, do you have this thing on? Do you have a...
Anybody laughing?
Do you have a go-to grind spot?
No, I have not ground. Vehemently against it.
Purist.
I mean, you're pretty high level. That's surprising.
Yeah, I mean that's happened by exploring. Like, I don't like if I can get to a part of the map, I'm just like I want to see what's going on here.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of crawling with all this.
Sure. Other things I wrote down that were just amazing moments is like going up an elevator. I think it's when you first get to the Altus Plateau. It's Altus, by the way. When you first get to the Altus Plateau.
Altered?
And you get there, and it's just like this full canyon of destroyed treasure chest caravans.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, right? And then boxcar.
Oh, that's what you're talking about, boxcar?
Yeah. The box, like you first get there, and then those guys that are kind of big and really aggressive.
Oh, those are treasure caravans, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't understand what you're talking about earlier with the boxcar things.
Well, clearly.
Oh, we're talking about different areas. So you were talking about that area. I'm sorry. I was talking about, when you were talking about that, I was talking about the woods with the mysterious castle. I was talking about the further north when I was talking about like the village monsters where they're like, I'm in the Yellow Hood running through the woods. Like the huge guys with like the big heads that are like, have you seen M. Night Shyamalan's Village?
Oh, those big weirdos, yeah.
Do you not know what I'm talking about?
Ben, that's a different game.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of M. Night Shyamalan's The Village on PS2. Now I'm understanding what we were trying to talk about an hour ago.
Yeah, those big brutish dudes with the axes.
Yeah, do you know what I'm talking about, Ronnie?
Yeah.
Seriously, dude. Like those big guys, because it's so The Village, and I know that you love The Village.
Yeah, I do, yes.
You have the movie poster hanging in your bedroom.
And I do like The Village, okay? What of it?
I like The Village too.
Some people really hated it. I don't know.
We got a poll running on Twitch. Do you like The Village? It's off the charts.
Good Twilight Zone episode.
Excuse me. I wrote down that there was some boss in a cavern or a cave, must have been one of the mines, and they were like made out of crystal.
Yeah. The ones that like you don't do any damage to for the first like 10 strikes, and then after that they're like, we got nothing.
Wait, is that what it is?
Yeah, he's gonna
like
break their crystalline poise.
I couldn't beat it. I thought like, oh, this must be some magic thing. Like I need to be using a certain spell or something, so I just left him alone.
Totally understandable why you would think that, because there's no discernible, like I don't see any indication that I'm like breaking their armor off.
Nothing.
It's just after a little while you start doing a lot of damage to them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's like breaking their poise, so to speak.
Oh god. I wrote down there's an area with a bunch of crucified trolls that's super spooky that you get to, where it's just like the big guys with the effed up stomachs. They're all like crucified.
Yeah, at the mountains, but like near Volcano Manor.
Yes. I think that's right where the ladder is. It's kind of like that little stretch.
I missed that ladder for so
Yes,
long.
same here.
Yes. Yeah.
God, that freaking ladder.
The gray sight was pointing me, and I get to that broken bridge, and it's like, where?
Yeah, exactly.
What am I doing?
You see that? Oh, you don't have the right.
How many times do I have to see that?
You don't have the right. You don't have the right. You don't have the right. And it's appraisals 7,000. Like,
how about a message that says ladder behind?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
the worst part is the one time that I found like a catacomb that was nothing but hidden doors and hidden pathways. I feel like there wasn't a single message there.
Yeah.
But like I love that the first time I was like, wait, this is nothing but hidden doors? Like this is so
I'm glad that you found that one too.
Yeah.
That one drove me nuts.
Oh really? You didn't like it?
No, I don't think I did like that one.
Also, it took me too long to realize that people were making a cheeky joke when with those messages when because I saw so many of them and I was like, what is this? Like something about attack? It was time for head. I was like, okay. All right, I got it, everybody. I got it. Thank you. You're geniuses.
Pretty good.
Just next level stuff here. Couldn't even imagine.
For head.
That's right up there with the tri-finger butthole.
Yeah, I can't wrap my mind around what they're trying to say.
What hole?
those paintings, which is
sure.
very.
I'm so glad that you said that.
The very Final Fantasy IX thing of like, do you see this shot? Go find this shot.
Yeah.
Like, should I be doing those? Because I look at them and I'm
don't
like,
know.
I think I can try,
to.
and then I give up immediately.
So, yeah, I haven't done any of those yet, but I was just looking at those last night and thinking like, okay, well, I could probably figure out a couple of these. I just haven't done it yet. I feel like I'm going to be disappointed, but we'll give it a shot.
You give it a shot? Are you going to give it a shot? Is there any point? Because the thing. Sorry, I'm taking time code notes.
Yeah, I know. I can see it.
Hang on, I'm Googling what else is interesting.
Oh my God.
My TikTok feed during when I was playing was just 90% Elden Ring clips for a while.
Yeah.
So I did see what one of the rewards was.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. And
Would you say that it's worth it?
I felt very fine not finding it.
All right.
That's the thing. I feel like at a certain
It's
point,
going to be a golden rune 4. It's going to be.
I need to like look up like my build, and it's like I will at a certain point only try and unlock and find the secret things that are pertaining to my build.
Yeah.
That's maybe.
But
that's
I don't see. I don't like that. I think that's like there's a part of me that really likes, like, you're going into a dungeon, you don't know what you're going to get, or like, you know, there's a stone sword key that you put in and you get an item, and like maybe you use it, maybe you won't, but it's not, you know, it's not like if you get something that is something that you could or would use, it's that much more exciting that you found it rather than like you know, hunting those things out.
Yeah.
Do you sell anything?
No.
Can you sell things? I didn't even know.
Yeah,
that.
you can, but it's like, I remember looking at it, it's just like any armor, no matter what, it's like 200.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. It's the best I can do.
Yeah.
God, it took forever. I don't think it was until I was on one of those Volcano Manor quests that I finally killed somebody and got armor from them. Where I'm like, wait, this is better than my starting armor? What is this? I didn't even know this was possible.
Wow. Okay.
It took forever. Like helmet, everything else, but basic armor, it just took forever to find something that was better than the basic vagabond thing.
I'll say moving forward, the boss set rewards get so cool.
Really?
Oh, do they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Build dependent?
Not well.
Some, I'm sure.
Yeah. But there's some light, cool looking ones too. Fashion Souls just goes through the roof end game. It's
excellent.
Really?
It's so much fun.
I love my current.
This monster over here, Ronnie, he said like, hey, this was when I was, I think, farther than he was quite a bit before I went to San Francisco, and he caught up to me and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
But he's like, hey, send me a picture of your character. I sent him a picture of my character. And it felt like you were mocking me through the phone.
I was,
much you were delighted about how stupid my character was.
Oh, you look so
I had like
dumb.
the prisoner helmet on at that
You
point.
guys had the prisoner helmet on. It's the one where it's like this. It's just like this weird. You know those guys that are just like weird green frog things where like an eye's up here and like there's another eye here.
Is it the death frogs?
No, they're like weird. No, they're just like weird villagers in like the Liurnia Lake area, and they look ridiculous. And you have a helmet on that's not. It's a helmet of their face.
Yeah,
Sounds awesome.
It is, that's what I said.
I had it molded in the mountain of Mount Dragia. Yeah, right now I have a helmet. God, forgive me for forgetting the name of it, but it's basically just like it's a giant cup. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like, it's basically a giant chalice. Did anybody else use this one? Where it's like a big stone cup that I have on my head.
That sounds kind of familiar.
Oh, is it like the fire prelate?
Ooh, it might have been, for the big fire guy.
Yeah.
He's kind of just like guarding a small castle.
Yep.
Yeah. This is the secret magic of these games that I've always been really jealous about with everybody else talking about these, and I think it's to a lesser degree with Elden Ring, but I've always been jealous. Like I like knowing things. I like diving into the details on games. And so many of these games I play, I'm not pointing fingers, but Kirby and the Forgotten Land, it's just like you play it and it's like, sure, whatever, it's fine and fun or whatever.
That was an experience.
Kirby fans are seething right
Yeah.
Just be cool. Just be cool, Kirby fans.
Dozens.
But then I'd always hear people talk about From Software games, and it's like, yeah, you know the area with the cloud that's like a little bit gray? It's like, remember like 2 miles to the north, if you take a right, there's that enemy there that kind of has like the tan shawl. And we're like, yep, I got him. And it's like, listening to that for so many years, it's like, what are you talking about?
And the next thing that they said is, I got that shawl.
right. But I feel like with Elden Ring now, I have like a sense of that to some extent.
Right,
Like it's so weird that we have this same feelings of like, this area where you turn to the left and then you see this thing and you go through that grind again and again. It's just nice to like
to have
to know and focus and pay attention to a game so much. And that's, I think,
there's a lot of experience, and that's why I think there are significant like impressionable experiences that you have in this game, and then there's just like a lot of like really little ones. Like every time you come across a new enemy, like I still go through this thing where it's just like, okay, I feel like this thing is going to F me up. And many times it does. In fact, like I went in a little bit into the snow territory, and like the first enemies that I got to, it's just like 3 of them got on me, and it's just like there's a 0% chance that
just
I'm going to win.
Just those small little guys with the size. Like,
no. It's just it's a little bit further up. Like these new enemies there that like 2 feels almost impossible. 3 was just like, I have to run away. Like I have to do this. And it's not like they're doing something that's necessarily like feels cheap. It's just like their move sets, like how much damage they do, how much health they do. All these things just like lead it to like, this is an awesome enemy design, and it's just improving more and more and more. I feel like in From Software games, well, with the exception of maybe Sekiro, because Sekiro is a little bit different, but like the Dark Souls 3 monsters compared to these monsters, like these monsters feel like even more sophisticated. Like they have more movesets. They're more difficult to kind of like pin down, and I love that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing where thinking about just all the interesting details in this game, and I hope other developers take lessons from Elden Ring, just like I hope they take lessons from Breath of the Wild. But at the same time, the part that I am hemming and hawing about is like, are other developers capable of making a world this interesting? Where we say like, oh, just make a world subtle, let you explore it. But here's
without having the guy that's just like, look over there, you know?
Right. But this is the big thing is like, I've been playing a little bit of Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is a game that I like more than I thought. But it's also like kind of tongue-in-cheek, jokey fantasy. And
there has to be just like question marks everywhere on the map, right? It's like quest.
No, actually, it's not open world.
Yeah,
really? Which is kind of cool. It's it's a throwback. It's a whole D&D parody thing, so it has like a throwback PS1 era RPG world map, which is
that's very cool.
Yeah, it does sound fun.
Yeah, it is. It's better than I thought. But like throughout that, I kept thinking the entire time, which is probably the wrong attitude. But I was like, look, don't just make fun of fantasy or like laugh at fantasy games. Like make a compelling fantasy world. That's the challenge, developers.
100%.
And it's such a weird divide of just saying, well, developers, just make a world that's compelling and then don't tell us how to explore it. Let us explore it on our own. But I don't know how many developers are capable of making a world inherently as interesting as From Software has been doing for so many years. I don't think it's possible. Like, I don't know, did you ever play The Surge or any other From Software like clones of... Okay, I mean, enough people have tried to make the Souls like Immortal Coil, all that stuff.
Right,
like, they can make games that the combat kind of feels like it, but are any games coming close to just having a world of just making you stop and think like, what is happening here? What is going on?
It's kind of an interesting thing. Like I remember when I bought Demon Souls for the PS3 because like on GameSpot, Kevin Van Howard?
Yeah,
I think he gave it like a 9 point something.
Yeah.
And I heard nothing about it. I tried playing it, thought like this game is insane. It's absurdly difficult. And I remember dropping it and not playing like any of it. And then I went on vacation, and this is when I was roommates with Grant. Like I was gone for like a week.
And he has this insatiable lust for games.
Grant's like, I beat it.
And remember, he whispered in your baby game.
He did. He said baby game. If I didn't have somebody else to say like, yeah, this is possible. I don't think I would have gone back. Like, I don't think I'd be a Dark Souls fan today.
I think the message when you came back was, dude, you have to play this.
And I'm like, I don't think I do.
Yes, you must.
Yeah,
you would have. I think you would have come around to it if
no,
you had never picked
not.
up.
No,
absolutely not Demon Souls. I bet by the time of Bloodborne. I feel like that would have been your breaking point. Well, like enough people are talking about it. Whatever won GameSpot's Game of the Year, you'll
that's
bow
true.
Down to.
That's
Looking at the sales of the original Demon Souls and the trajectory that they put themselves on, I still don't know how they made this jump from Dark Souls, I guess Sekiro to this now for numbers. This is insanity.
Yeah.
I mean, over 12 million sold so far.
Just like the fervor they got around this game is ridiculous, and I love it. It's awesome. I'm so happy people are playing this.
I know, and that it's that like it is kind of it like seeing the culture around it. I'm sure like if I don't use Twitter, but I feel like I use TikTok, and I feel like TikTok gives me kind of like a decent understanding of just like how much this is like incepted into just like gaming culture in general, which is like everybody's talking about it. But I would imagine that Twitter's doing the same thing, but like this is probably the first game of that From can really say, like you say it's 12 million copies. Like what's the next step down? Do you know for
total sales?
Yeah, for total sales, like Sekiro, Dark Souls 3.
Probably Dark Souls 3.
It is, yeah. Mike sent us that graph.
And I just remember that, yeah.
Like the others had a mild ascent, and it was just like a straight vertical line. Yeah.
I think it's
like 8-ish million for Dark Souls 3, something like that.
So the game, Dark Souls 3 sold 10 million.
Okay.
And they sold 12 million just so far, or
so far for Elden Ring.
And that was like a 4-year growth to get to that 10 million mark for Dark Souls. Yeah.
How far in? A month?
A little over
5 weeks?
Yeah, a month and a half.
Something like that.
Month and a half now.
I don't know. I don't think either of you care too much, but hopefully we can do something with it. But the greatest, truly one of the most magical moments of my life over the last couple of years is I got an email out of the blue, and it was from John Dickerson from CBS News and like Slate Political Gabfest and stuff. He hosted Face the Nation and stuff for years.
Yeah.
But we interviewed him a while ago talking about Age of Empires and shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he sent me an email out of the blue just talking about how much he loves Elden Ring.
No.
He got my email and I'm like, what is this? What is this? So hopefully we can do something with that in the future.
I love that.
I don't know. It's really cool.
One quick note. Have you guys tried any summoning or invading yet?
I tried it here. I don't really know how to do it. But I did it. I tried it a couple times, and I kept just being transported to other people's worlds. I'm like, okay, it's the one. If you want people to come to your game, it's the one that's depletable, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't pulled that off yet.
Yeah, I've not done any.
I didn't bring anybody in. I got to a point that's a little bit ahead of where you guys are right now.
Yeah. Wait, and your New Game Plus?
No, it was on my original, and I just decided to try helping a few people. But then also invading a few people, which I've never really been fond of.
Oh boy!
But man, did I have some fun!
Really?
Both getting my ass handed to me by Butt Warrior 69. If you're out there,
it's me. I
fought him 3 times in a row because we were in the same area, and once he had my massive souls from the first ass handing, I had nothing left. So it's like. Yeah, I'm going back. Give me the Butt Warrior.
Did you try your finger? You've been told 1,000 times, Grant.
Using the finger weapon.
The first guy that I invaded, though, I felt so bad. I hit him with a jumping strong attack, and it did like 40% of his health bar.
Oh my god!
And he was off to the races. He started using elevators to trick me, like to get me away from him. And eventually, once I caught him and I thought I had him, I was about to deal a death blow. Dude just jumped off the edge of the map. It's like, yes, that couldn't have gone any better.
I love that.
It's so much fun.
I love that every elevator I take, I feel like this is just, in no other game is I feel like an elevator. What does that look?
If it's a small bladder. I don't know. I just...
But in no other game is an elevator just like a recipe for Secret Town. But I feel like every elevator I go down, Ronnie, you can't talk, you're blathering. Every elevator I go down, it's like, okay, there's just, you're passing by just layers and layers of secrets, and I know there's so much going on that if I jump off at any moment, I can unlock so much more.
So much in the catacombs, especially. Yeah. Or like the mines. There's always those little hidden ones.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't find in this game, and it has to exist. It was huge in Dark Souls 1, is you send the elevator up, and then wait for it at the bottom, and there'd be you could jump
secret
in the
hole.
Jump in the hole, yeah.
I feel like I found stuff like that in
Did
this
you?
game. Yeah.
Because I know our friend Mike said he got tricked by a couple of those, like time for rolling, one of those things, like you roll in the hole and it was just instant dead.
You can. I mean, if you're going to survive it, you can see the bottom, right? It seems pretty clear to solve that mystery.
Yeah,
I would think.
But I mean, in Dark Souls 1, there was one like in the starting area it was really good, and I was kind of hoping for that, and I just never came across one. But.
Some of those mines, man, they go on for so long. I feel like the second and third mine area that I found, at least, was like, how infinite is it? And then others I feel like are surprisingly short, and just love what a coin toss it is for. Like, I don't know what this is going to be like.
Those sharpshooter sniper centipedes that like wind up and shoot a web attack at you.
Ooh, I don't know if I've come across the web attack guys yet. They're rough.
They're all trained snipers. You'll think you're completely hidden, and they'll hit you from a half mile away with that thing.
Okay, maybe. It's been a while.
Ruthless.
Yeah, I haven't played too much after going to San Francisco and stuff. I need to get back into the swing of things and reunite with all these monstrosities. Hey, is that bathroom the loudest bathroom known to man?
Yeah.
Are you noticing this?
Yeah, it's really coming through the
we
through
have
the mic and straight to my headphones.
We have a quiet, basically magical and silent as a cloud flush option on the toilet, and then a toilet option that just says nuclear bomb, and apparently Ronnie hit that one.
It actually says for Ronnie.
It's for Ronnie. In case of Ronnie, push button. It says
so I pushed it.
Yeah. Speaking of summoning, though, that boss fight with Morgoth the Omen King, like the big capital boy. Like, I love that Melina like joins you for that fight. That's such a cool idea.
Yeah, that was
Even though that was one of those where I was expecting this guy to be a big bad. It's like, oh no, he wasn't that. It was 5 tries maybe, and then he dies, and he's like, you won't be a Elden Lord. Goodbye.
no respite.
I had homeboy Mimic with me, so I didn't bring her in.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Who needs her when I've got me?
Wait.
Yeah.
But there's no. Can you only have one summon at a time?
Well,
why
they're
wouldn't you
different
bring her in?
because it's being a hardcore gamer.
Gamer's gonna game.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't bring her in either.
Really?
Yeah.
What? What are you talking about?
Beat him first try.
For some reason, I'm anti gold summon signs.
Yeah, but yeah, I the same way.
That's what
But
the
my
hell?
Mimic, I mean,
All right, I gotta see this Mimic.
don't take my Mimic.
I gotta see the Mimic. Grant, if we put a gun to your head and said, what percentage of the story do you feel like you understand for Elden Ring? What is that?
4.
Is that a problem with the game? That's what I'm still trying to
That's
understand.
a problem with me.
But
Number one, not caring enough to dig into it, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read item descriptions and that kind of. That's just never been my thing.
Is there a version of this game that's better because we genuinely care? Or, I mean,
maybe.
Is the takeaway
It depends
lesson,
on like how much. To me, I feel like it depends on like how much. Then like, am I forced to watch like a cutscene of characters that I don't particularly care about, or like, is it an option to care about these characters and figure out like what the story is?
I think the world is rich enough for people that really get into it are absolutely going to love that stuff.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I like riding around on torrent and slapping big bosses with the with the sword. Like,
and I guess like it's strong enough where it's like, if you compare like the investment of myself into any game that I play compared to how much you just invested with that basic idea of, hey, your character wants to become an Elden Lord. It's like, now I feel that. I guess I want to see all this world has to offer and conquer it, and I don't know, sit down on the chair by the Erd tree.
You ever sat down before?
I want to, you know, when there's a door that says you don't have the right, I want to go through that door and then sit down on a chair and say, now I'm Lord.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, I feel that in my gut
now.
I feel that in my gut in this game compared to any other game where it's like, how much do you care about finding your digital father again? It's like, who cares, you know? So I guess that's the takeaway. It's like, well, the core mission, if you care about that, then that's all you need.
I mean, this has kind of been the MO, like a grandiose cutscene, and then like they'll show you massive lords,
right?
And then they'll zoom down a toilet hole to the sewer, and there's you,
right,
lowly tarnished,
right.
But I like eating my poop, my liege.
Maidenless tarnished.
Would you like to stay? No, that's what I've always liked, that I say this now, and I don't know if Elden Ring really did this, but what I really like about From Software games is they do that thing, particularly like in Demon Souls, is like they tell you, Demon Souls and Dark Souls, I think, like in the very beginning they'll have the cinematic, and they'll lay out like the big monsters of the like the series that like you can just kind of like look forward to, and they're always like incredibly foreboding, and I really do like that's, to me, like that's enough story, like that harkens back to just like, I guess like an NES or an SNES game. It's just like, well, who cares? It's just like what you really like, Metroid almost, like just going through and like fighting these bosses, like that's enough to keep me going.
Yeah, like it's how many games have, and the crystal was broken into 4 pieces,
right, and
scattered like, throughout this land.
How many?
hang on. right. Yeah, it's a pretty good game. Boy, Bob Buell, by the way, in the chat was screaming like, "Oh, you got a lot to go. Oh, you got a lot to go." Okay. I really feel like, especially with Chrono Cross coming up, that's gonna be, I think, our biggest, deepest dive ever.
Yeah, I would imagine.
What's the release date?
April 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so this week.
Just Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I think it's Thursday. Yeah.
Day before or after Sonic 2. Are we gonna go to that? Are you gonna go to that?
Ronnie texted me saying we need to go to see Sonic the Hedgehog 2 because he's a big Sonic boy. Which is funny. Yeah, it's funny. You should connect with Sarah Pazorski at some point because you're all in on Sonic.
Yeah.
Basically pre-Sonic Adventure, and then Sarah Pazorski's all in on Sonic Trash around Sonic Adventure 2 moving on.
That's we would have nothing in common.
You're the two halves of the medallion that need to be combined.
Sure, yeah.
So I give an answer. All right. But I just remember a distinct memory of going to see Sonic the Hedgehog 1 in the theater with you, and the two of us sat down in our seat, and the movie started playing, and I had this moment of, oh God, what have I done? Now I need to sit through 2 hours of a Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Yeah, and then we loved every second of it.
Yeah.
It was a fine movie.
No, I didn't dislike the movie. Yeah. It was solid.
Good.
I watched that at home and I had a great time watching it.
Yeah. So let's do it again.
Great time, Grant.
I really did. I wouldn't consider myself like blue fan number 1 or anything.
Look, I liked the movie fine. I would never say I had a great time watching that.
Yes, you did.
Sonic was effing adorable.
Sonic was effing adorable.
I mean, here's the part of that monstrosity they almost put out. Good God.
Here's the part that I can't wrap my mind around about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, though, is there's the moment in the reveal trailer, that they really were serving up as a big joke, and it's Dr. Robotnik, get this, and he fires a bunch of missiles at Sonic. Sonic grabs one, and he goes, "Return to sender."
It's good.
And I think, like, even if that's improvised by Ben Schwartz, "Return to sender," no one in the theater is smiling at Sonic saying "Return to sender."
Hang on, watch this.
You're not in the theater. You're not in the theater.
I'm gonna love it.
Once that joke hits on the big screen, big room,
you're gonna hear me go.
This is the only reason I will see Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with you in the theater is. For that moment, I then want to immediately crane my neck around to see if anyone's reacting in any way to "Return to sender." Like, who is this joke for? It's a 0. It's an absolute bullshit.
Have your phone pulled out. Who?
And they're gonna post it like one of those Spider-Man reaction theater videos of just, here's the reaction to the "Return to sender" joke from the Sonic the Hedgehog.
I hope someone just loses their mind.
Yeah. It's gonna be like a 65-year-old.
So yeah, maybe.
What do you? Okay, we'll
I'm gonna be out of town that weekend. I'm gonna be back in New London. So.
Okay, well then we'll go when you get back.
Okay, fine. Okay. Jeez.
All right, everybody heard it here.
You heard it here first.
Expect a video blog.
Buried on the official MinMax website are unlisted video blogs. Ronnie's been posting dozens of them. Has no one checked those out?
1.2 million views.
It's mostly just Sonic monologues.
Here's what Sonic could have said. Here's how we could have destroyed Robotnik with a well-timed retort.
This video's an hour and 20 minutes long.
Hey, that's Elden Ring, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this discussion. We'll probably do another one once we finish off this sucker.
It feels... yeah, okay. We will, and also... Well, here's the thing, is, like, you're gonna... Now you have to streamline this. You have to just, like, put this game through your veins if you're gonna be ready to do Chrono Cross in, like, a few days. Or
are you saying I need to finish Elden Ring before Chrono Cross comes out? No.
I thought that's what you were.
I don't think I'm going to finish Elden Ring until realistic July, probably.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I love it, but like, there's a lot to keep in the.
I'm still
weekly
playing
rotation.
a lot, like every day. Like every day that I can, I'm still playing as much as I can.
Are you going to play Chrono Cross? You think?
Yes, 100%.
Are you going to finish Chrono Cross?
Yes, 100%.
Really?
Yeah, no, honestly, yes.
And still, you're high hat in the deepest dive.
I genuinely do want to do the deepest dive. I just think that you will be very upset with me.
You just be like,
you have 20 hours to go and it's tomorrow. Like, it's
but
be a lot of that. You'll be very irritated.
Oh, I'd be furious. Yeah. But yeah, we'll be back at some point to talk about all of Elden Ring. Although it's probably redundant because we have a Max spoilers on this channel. If you haven't checked that out, with Jacob Geller and Harper J from Double Fine and Kyle Hillier were talking about their experience there.
Yeah, it's not very good though.
How dare you? How dare you? Did you listen to it, Graham?
Yeah, kind of when it was happening on Twitch, but I didn't. I didn't see all of it.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, full disclaimer, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he hasn't seen it, but they're all great. But hey, thank you so much for watching or listening. If you enjoyed this chat, you can always support us over at patreon.com/minmax with 2 N's. You can like the podcast version of this chat for inevitably when you want to listen to it again for some godforsaken reason. And then also when you want to unlock the podcast version of the deepest dive on Chrono Trigger. Also you want to unlock the podcast version of Final Fantasy VII Remake,
can't wait.
We all talked about for... I think it's,
not enough time.
Including Yuffie, I think it's over 17 hours of talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and probably not quite enough. Hugo, don't be confused. This is not the deepest dive on Elden Ring. This is far from, but this is just talking about Elden Ring. Completely different format. I don't know if you noticed.
Kiddie pool dive.
Yeah,
that's
just
right.
a slurp.
Very shallow dive. A nice slurp of a pool, we like to call it. But hey, thanks so much for watching and listening. If you watch this on YouTube, thank you. You can always follow us on Twitch if you want to watch us live. We appreciate that. Anything else we'd appreciate, Ronnie? Anything else you want to plug? Got a hot project coming up?
I'm gonna make a Tweeter account pretty soon, so
look forward to more tweets about the snow.
Dust off the old account for the triannual post.
Bicentennial post.
And another thing about Will Smith. No, Ronnie, no! All right, thanks so much for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Did you know that you can more than double the amount of podcasts from MinMax every single week by supporting us at the $5 tier on Patreon? You don't have to listen through the browser or anything dumb like that. You'll get access to a private RSS feed if you support us on Patreon. You put it in your favorite podcast app, and then bam, you can listen to our weekly bonus podcast Party Chat, the podcast versions of The Deepest Dives, MinMax interviews, Max spoilers, and you get the MinMax Show podcast a day earlier than everybody else. So please help support independent games media. Head over to patreon.com/MinMax with 2 N's.